Welcome, everybody, to another segment of the City of Sanford's podcast, Sanford Says. My name is Lisa Holder. I'm the Communications Officer for the City of Sanford. I'm glad to be with you today. I have a special guest on our show. His name is Dave Aldrich. Dave is the City of Sanford's building official who is a CBO MCP, which stands for Certified Building Official and a Master Code Professional. Dave also has 32 years experience as a code professional in the state of Florida and 10 more years of experience in the construction field, which most of was as a constructional or a structural designer for Halliburton subsidiary in Houston, Texas. That's pretty impressive. Dave, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good
so
to be
Dave, Dave is, like I said, our building official, and Dave's going to share with us some really incredible things that they do for the City of Sanford. And one of them is the notion or the fact that building division has gone electric. No more paper? Is that right, Dave?
That is correct. We're happy to announce that the building department is now completely online. Everything from registering a contractor to submitting for a permit is now done completely online via the portal from your office or your home computer. You go to www.citizenserve.com/Sanford. We also have 2 kiosks set up in City Hall, if need be, for anyone who doesn't own a computer or needs a little help uploading their info the first time into the portal.
Okay. Dave, before we move forward, can you just share with us an overall picture of what the building division is responsible for in the City of Sanford? That would be pretty nice.
Sure. We're responsible for any vertical construction, meaning any structures. We're not responsible for the underground infrastructure like your water sewer pipes, but pretty much anything else you see, we're responsible for it from the beginning to the end. We have to do all the inspections, and before we can inspect them, we have to have generally a licensed professional, architect or engineer, submit plans. The inspectors go specifically by the plans. We have 2 very competent plan examiners who have to approve the plans or say it meets code as best as possible. And that includes, after the job is started, if there's any problems or irregularities, we will take what's called RFIs or revisions for them to correct things as they go.
And what's an RFI for those listeners?
That's required for improvements. Any data we need back from a design professional or an engineering firm, or hopefully their architect or engineer.
And so how many staff do you have in your division?
Right now there's 11 of us, and we are currently advertising for anybody looking for a job for another permit coordinator. And those would be the ladies out front that actually take the information in from the portals and route them to every other department in the city to do the plan reviews. And they usually take care of it from the very beginning to the very end, where a person is looking for their certificate of occupancy, their CO.
And those ladies try to make this procedure very user-friendly as well. And you're right upstairs on the 2nd floor of City Hall. You'll see their smiling faces as they enter our building on the 2nd floor. So we appreciate them very much.
Yeah. As soon as you get off the elevator, they're on your left.
Great. So you did say that customers can schedule their inspections online, correct?
Yes. Inspections can be scheduled, and their results can be viewed online. Also, by accessing the portal, the system also sends out an email to the customer when the inspection has been resulted. So as soon as an inspector, well, I shouldn't say as soon as, sometimes they'll wait till lunch, but once they put in the results, pass, fail, partial pass, or whatever, their comments will also explain to you, if it failed, what was wrong, so you don't have to scratch your head too hard to figure out, why he rejected your work. And I would say they only reject probably 20% of most of the stuff they look at.
And so where can they find this online portal that you speak of?
Okay. For anybody hopefully with a pencil in their hand, if you would please visit www.CitizenServe, spelled out, all one word, .com/Sanford. And for more info, that'll hopefully, most people that are proficient on their computers, as soon as they go to it, it'll walk you through it. Like I say, if you do need help, you can call any of the permit coordinators. They'll help you. Or if you need hands-on assistance, you can come into one of the 2 kiosks, and the ladies, while you're right there, will help you out. And we also have the original website that's still available for people that have never been to the portal. Don't worry, you can still download all of our applications, all of our forms at the standard website, which is www.sanfordfl, all one word, .gov, G-O-V. And both sites are in the process of being updated, yet they can be accessed for more information, and we always encourage everyone with questions to stop by or call anytime.
Great. So we do recommend our public to use this new service, CitizenServe. I know that the city just launched this software probably a month or so ago, and we hope that it is more efficient and effective. Again, going electronic with no more paper. We also do have the option, like Dave, the building official, said, to still go on the website and access our documents and forms that way at sanfordfl.gov. So, Dave, let me ask you this. So can you possibly receive your business tax receipt when opening a new business in the city of Sanford?
Yes, you can. You can get your information. If you're opening a new business, you can obtain your BTR, or as we're supposed to call it, business tax receipt, via our online portal. And you can also update an existing business or make changes to a current one once you've entered all of the pertinent information into the portal.
Okay. That's great. And it's user-friendly because we've got some great feedback on that.
Excellent feedback. More and more cities are going this route. And for those that aren't aware, I'm not sure if it's a year to 2 years, but sometime in the not too distant future, the state has required that all municipalities send all their information to them by electronic format. So we wanted to make a better service for all our people, but the state kind of helped influence us by doing it possibly sooner than we may have.
And if this is speaks to the whole open for business stamp that the city of Sanford does have. We are open for business, and it makes doing business with the city that much easier for our business community and our residents. But do you think that this electronic process is the wave of the future? Is it just a fad? Or I know you say the state is now requiring it, but what do you think about that?
Oh, it's definitely not a fad. This is an exciting time in the building department as we work to shift over to a paperless department, with all permits, plans, and documents now being submitted electronically, as well as inspections requested and inspection results given. We're slowly making the transition and look forward to a more streamlined permitting process.
I like that word, streamlined permitting process, and that I'm sure our listeners out there would appreciate that too. So let me ask you, switching gears here, how much experience do most of your building and trade inspectors have?
Well, it's interesting you ask, because we've got a very talented crew right now from all over the U.S., And all of our building inspectors have over 30 years experience individually working in the field, and every one of them is more qualified. Excuse me. Every one of them is more than qualified when it comes to being up to date on the Florida building codes, all of their policies and procedures. In the building department itself in City Hall, you'll find that the staff and everyone in the office is always friendly and happy to help you. They know their stuff very well. The ladies are also well versed in most nomenclature that's used in the construction field. So if you tell them you need a lintel inspection, they're not looking for lintel soup somewhere. They know you mean to pour some mud. But all our guys are extremely competent, and most of them have had college experience or were contractors in the past lives. The college part comes in real handy to help them move up the ladder as far as their future endeavors.
These are certified positions, of course.
Yes. They have to be certified by the state.
Licensed as well?
Yes.
So your inspectors and plan examiners licensed by the state of Florida?
Yes. All the plan examiners and inspectors must be licensed by the state to practice any trade or discipline that they participate in. It's not like 20 plus years ago where it could be the mayor's cousin or somebody he appointed because he thought he knew more about construction than most people. We've had some major hurricanes in the last 20-some years, and the state of Florida took it upon themselves to go a little bit above and beyond what a lot of the states are doing. They actually have their own building code, but it is 90% of the ICC codes, which the rest of the U.S. is currently going by. We're just a little behind them. International Code Congress.
And would you say that this field is more male-dominated? Are you seeing that it's opening up to women, or young women are learning about or interested in maybe this field of study? And do you see in the future the need for building officials, and it's not going to be all electronic? Someone's got to, a human eye's got to look over plans, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah, the electronic part is just to make it smooth, to be kind of smoothed over, flow a little faster, not have to handle reams and reams of paper, kill tons and tons of trees. This way it just goes from one person's computer to another. Mm-hmm. When it comes to the people, there still are very few women in the trade, but there are getting to be more and more. Back when I went to college, took construction tech, there was one lady in my class. Of course, as you can probably tell from my voice, I graduated college in 76, and nowadays I would guess it's probably at least a third women. And I've found any one of the ones I've ever worked with, they're extremely competent, because it's almost like a chip on the shoulder they got to have. They have to overprove themselves. It's like ladies in certain sports. They kind of got to go above and beyond.
Mm-hmm. But it sounds like that it's definitely something that anybody can pursue if you have the interest. So that's nice to hear.
Yes.
So what do the plans examiners and inspectors enforce exactly?
Okay. What they have to enforce is they are responsible to enforce all of the Florida building codes specific to their trades. Also, any applicable engineered reports and state statutes. Most people probably don't realize, but our commercial plan examiner has to be proficient in all of the trades to be able to do a full set of plans. Sanford is not big enough like the bigger counties and cities where they have a chief plumbing inspector who can do the plans, a chief electrical, a chief mechanical, and a chief structural. We only have one guy. He has to do them all. And he, like me, is in MCP, which means being a master code professional. He has to be proficient in all the trades. In the world, you're going to have building officials, probably thousands and thousands of building officials around the world. But to do that sort of job, to actually have accomplished the MCP behind your name, you have to be proficient in all of the trades. You must be fully certified inspector and plan examiner in all of them. And the city of Sanford is lucky to have 2 MCPs on their staff, our chief plan examiner and myself. Building official only has to pass 1 test, although it is a very, very stringent test. There are no prerequisites. It's a 3-part test. It's the technical part, which hopefully you have to be proficient at, the construction end, management, and legal issues. And you have to pass all 3 parts to become one. You can't just pass 2 and get a halfway decent grade on the other. You have to have at least minimum 10 years experience in the field in construction and at least 5 years experience in a supervisory capacity.
Well, the folks out there in the community, in our Sanford community, should feel comfortable and rest easy at night, Dave, knowing that our staff have all the certifications that they need and more, especially in this particular area for the Sanford Building Division. And our city's growing at a rapid pace. I imagine that your department is extremely busy taking care of all of those projects. You want to speak to that?
Actually, it has picked up here incredibly the last couple of years. I've been here 6 years now, and the first couple of years, it was just kind of carte blanche. It was just real normal. But the last couple of years, it's picked up huge. We've got about 4 major subdivisions going on. 3 of them are out by the airport. The other one's on the east side of town. We've got a bunch of prospective more townhomes and apartments coming soon. Actually, there's one huge apartment complex being built on the east side of 1792, right across from the lake. We are expecting a huge growth in commercial before long for the possible Heritage Park area, which is the 3-block area downtown. And there's actually an ALF going in at the marina right now. And tons more going on that I'm not even aware of, that the planning department could fill anybody in on at any time.
Yes, and the planning department will be another guest of the show here, so residents and visitors can learn more about that and see how everything kind of comes together here. So Dave, people out there in the community can still call the building division if they have any questions, and your office hours too, what are they?
Yes, you may call 407-688-5150. It's our generic line in. It has a lot of prompts, but please be patient. We are so crazy busy right now. A lot of times you may have to leave a voicemail when necessary, as we have 3 ladies that assume the duties of answering the line, but sometimes they may all be busy with a customer in-house or on another call already, and they're always very competent about returning calls, and that's why I gave you the generic call-in line, because if you have a certain permit coordinator you like dealing with, the problem with that is if you call on a day that they're out, vacation, or whatever, then the voice message would just sit there. If you call this line, one of those 3 will get back to you as soon as possible.
And can you repeat that line again, please?
Yes, that number was 407-688-5150. And they are open from 7 in the morning for those that want to get something done maybe before they go in or on the way into work, to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday. They stop taking payments at 4:30 Monday through Thursday because they got to make their bank. Also from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Fridays, and they are extremely proficient at what they do. I did not quiz the ladies on how many years experience, but we've got one with about over 20 years, and then Debbie's planning on retiring before long. She's got over 20, and I'm pretty sure Annette's been out there for 14 or so. And then Lisa's more or less scanning, but she's learning the trade also.
And then Joanne is the staff
Joanne
person that
is
sits at the information desk, which is a new feature too of your department.
She's the first one you see when you come off the elevator. She helps route people to where they want to go, and she also is 100% responsible for all the BTRs in the city, your business tax receipts. And that process is going to become incredibly smooth once a person has entered their information into the portal, because from then on they can do everything right there. Renew everything. Throw their payments at them. You could get by without any stamps, having to drive your vehicle down here. Painless, smooth.
I think that sounds good. Painless and smooth. Is there anything else that you'd like to add, Dave?
Yes, besides that, one thing I forgot to say, our guys have to be super proficient in all their trades. The state requires all of us, whether you're an inspector or a plan examiner, to have at least a minimum of 14 hours of CEUs. We always strive to get at least double that, because we have an ISO report we have to do every 3 years or so, and that rates us among other building departments in the state. What it actually, ISO, I'm not positive of the acronym, but it actually helps people get better insurance rates on structures that have been built during the grading period we're going to. And currently right now we have 2 on commercial and a 3 on residential, and that's on a grade of up to 10. Knowing a 1 is impossible, and a 5 is kind of average for most municipalities. The building and trade classes that the guys have to get their CEUs from all have to be certified by DBPR.
What is a CEU, please? Sorry to interrupt you there.
It's,
acronyms, government acronyms.
It's CEUs are your certificates, are hours of compliancy. 14 hours would be 14 hours that you actually were in class. And to get those, there are certain mandatory ones that you have to get. The state insists that every one of us have at least 2 hours of accessibility, which most of you know as called ADA. We all have to have 2 hours of laws and rules, which is your legal documents, so you know and understand all the administrative law and state statutes, which most people don't know how much. Everything we do is a legal document, so we have to be sure as best we can that we dot our I's, cross our T's. You also have to have 1 hour of ethics, and I'm sure we all understand why that. And that's pretty much wraps up on what the guys are supposed to be doing, and the ladies, if we're ever lucky enough to get a lady on staff to do inspections. One thing to remember, you can come by and get help, you can call and get help, but the good news is now the portal is available 24/7. Anytime you're sitting at home, you can jump on your computer, check out what's what, check on any permitting issues you want to have or would like to check up on. And overall, the Sanford Building Department is a well-constructed, multifaceted division that works hard and strives to be an integral part of the city's ever-changing background and economy. We're proud of our staff, our experience, and we continuously strive to deliver excellence, years of experience and knowledge to get the job done right the first time. Thanks for taking the time to allow me to explain about our duties and responsibilities. We know communication's the key. There's nothing too major we can't resolve it once people reach out, and we can help them get to where they want to be.
Well, thank you for that. I want to underscore one more item. The building division is open on Fridays, and you are available. Your staff is available from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Yes.
On Fridays.
Yes.
So we just want to underscore that. City Hall hours are Monday through Thursday, 7 to 5:30. But the building division and some other departments are also available to accommodate our contractors, to accommodate the community for permitting reasons. So we just wanted to underscore that. So there you have it. You have been schooled by our building official, Dave Aldrich. We really appreciate you being on the show. It's so important, this information. I bet you've never been on a podcast before.
Never.
But welcome. So
Thank you.
Everybody at City Hall is going to be a radio personality one of these days. I'm just kidding. But we really appreciate your time. This is important information. Listeners, I hope you have taken note on these topics. And we thank you again. Dave, this is Lisa Holder, Communications Officer for the City of Sanford. Please remember you can receive our podcast and listen to our podcast on our website. That's sanfordfl.gov. Also, it's shared on social media, Facebook, internet, the Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time. This is Lisa Holder signing off.